WCBS News Time 4:22. Up until today, I would have told you that my love for this singular radio station began on the night of the Great Blackout, July 13, 1977. But I awoke this morning with a realization that it goes back even farther, at least back to election night 1960, as a 7-year-old being amazed by the great CBS News team, Cronkite, Edwards, Collingwood, Eric Severide, who later became my ultimate hero in journalism, and one guy on there who even predated World War II at CBS, Robert Trout. It wasn't long before I discovered CBS radio news, and if my parents and I went anywhere around Pittsburgh on a Saturday or Sunday, I kind of insisted in the car that we tune in to hear, as the announcer intoned it, Chevrolet brings you Robert Trout 9 times each weekend on CBS radio. Yeah, I was about 8 years old. So on the night of July 13, 1977, when I was first living in Cleveland and working my first big market radio job, I just happened to be visiting friends who lived out about 25 miles west of town. Coming home, hearing about the blackout, it was only natural for me to dial into WCBS, which came blaring in like a local station. Driving through cornfields, literally cornfields in North Royalton, Ohio, I found myself absolutely stunned by the WCBS News team. And what a team, improvising so skillfully through the New York story of the decade. Like my friend, well, he's my friend now, Don Swaim, who walked down from his apartment 14 flights, got in his car, and drove around in the darkness with, of course, all the traffic lights out, and stopping at payphones along the way to go live on air. At least the phones were still working. And he was one of many. This was the local New York version, the extension of what Ed Murrow built during and after World War II. And in fact, every evening for years, he was on WCBS for 15 minutes at 7:45 p.m. Driving through those cornfields, I was swept up by this sound of New York, and from that moment, I knew I wanted to be a part of WCBS. 12 years later, as the business guy from Business Week, my other great professional home, I became a part of WCBS, and now, 35 years on from that moment, I think it may be my greatest professional honor to be one of the last news anchors on the last week and the last day of this local news version of what Murrow built, the greatest local radio news operation there ever was, News 88. And now at 4:25 on WCBS, it's time for Money News. And from the CBiz Marks Paneth Business Desk, here's our Small Business Spotlight, sponsored by Dime Community Bank, New York's premier community bank for business.
This is a game-changing development story that I have been following. The City Council overwhelmingly approved an ambitious Bronx rezoning plan around 4 new Metro North stations. This paves the way for approximately 7,000 new homes, 1.2 million square feet of commercial space, and more than 1 million square feet for new community facilities, all generating a projected 10,000 permanent jobs. This also includes significant funding for parks, school upgrades, and street improvements. I also see this further strengthening Metro Hutch Center as an important hub that already includes a hospital, university, hotel, retail space, and 1.4 million square feet of Class A office space on a 42-acre campus. I'm Rob Walsh for the Business Spotlight on WCBS 880 News.
CBiz Marks Paneth, the New York area's premier accounting, tax, and advisory firm.
What does peace of mind look like?
Well, for me, it's knowing the car dealer I trust has been around since 2005. They live, work, and know my community. Now, with their 60-day buyer's assurance guarantee, I get unmatched protection after the sale. Plus, they work with over 20 different financial lenders to get me approved. Now, that's peace of mind.
Auction Direct USA, your used vehicle superstore.
Auction Direct.
In Raleigh at 7601 Glenwood Avenue or auctiondirectusa.com.
Cars you can count on.
And
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in these uncertain economic times, you struggle to guard your life's work against unexpected challenges. But can it withstand the sudden disruption of a divorce? In divorce, financials are scrutinized and the company itself could be in jeopardy. When your hard-earned work is at risk, count on our experience and advocacy in handling these matters at Cordell & Cordell.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Raleigh attorneys. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. CordellCordell.com.
Stop wishing and start doing. At Miller Mott College, you can build the skills and knowledge to prepare for the next step in your journey. Train for your future in business, healthcare, or skilled trades, knowing we're with you during the admissions process and beyond. Dreaming can only take you so far. It's time to act. Visit us in person at 3901 Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh, North Carolina, or online at miller-mott.edu. That's miller-motte.edu.
And so at 4:28, here's my last traffic and weather together. Now, you might remember how Pat Farnack, who anchored middays here for years, would end her Friday shift at 1:58 p.m. by saying, "Take me home, please, Chris Majette." So what better last words from me on this radio station than "Take me home back to Maryland, please, Malibu Sue."
Well, I want to tell you as well that Rick from Rockland County has called to tell us that he will hold us in his heart all of the time. He wants to be sure this gets to myself, Ray, you, and Craig Allen, and everybody else. He says he loves us, guys. And over to Connecticut, where we have a disabled that takes out the left lane on 95 southbound in Westport, just slowing people down just past the Sherwood Island connector. They are still working to clear a vehicle fire from the New Jersey Turnpike's eastern spur over at the Alexander Hamilton service area, and we have a collision on the Garden State Parkway southbound just before exit 144 that knocks out the left lane, and then further south on the Parkway we have another crash taking out the right lane just past exit 143. A disabled bus blocks the center lane northbound on West Street approaching Canal, and we have delays over on the Whitestone Expressway getting to the Bronx-bound Whitestone Bridge. That will clear up because they cleared the disabled that is causing that. It's Malibu Sue in the WCBS Traffic Center. Thanks, Ray.
Yes, thank you, Ray. You better believe it, Ray. It is nice and quiet and calm weather-wise all the way down 95 to Maryland. It is going to be wonderful for the evening hours and a pretty good weekend for all of us as well. It is clear for tonight, mid-60s, near 60 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 80 to 85. And Sunday, sunny much of the day, warm, more humid. Highs will be in the middle 80s. The next chance of a shower or thunderstorm around here is not until Monday. Ray, my pleasure. All the best to you, and like I said, we'll keep talking. 80 degrees right now, humidity 31%.
And just want to say again, all the people that are calling and letting us know how they feel, how sad they are about the station going off the air. Pete in Park Ridge, Janice, Teresa, David in Norwalk, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you want to call and say goodbye, we're at 212-975-8888. And thank you for listening. I'm Malibu Sue in the WCBS Traffic Center.
All right, so right now we have clear skies. I'm glad it's a nice, simple forecast. It'll give me an extra couple seconds to talk here. Clear sky for tonight. It'll be in the mid-60s, near 60 inland, and a great weekend, basically. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Highs between 80 and 85, a little more humid on Sunday with high temperatures in the middle 80s, and the next chance of a shower or a thunderstorm is on Monday. And as I'm giving you this forecast, I can actually hear Jim Morrison singing right now from the Doors. This is the end, my friend, because it really is. Sunset is at 7:41, but it's setting right now on the WCBS Weather Center, as we've all known it. The sign on my office door is always going to be there. It says, Weather Center, WCBS Weather Center, because that you can't forget. But for just thanks to all of the best colleagues in the world, and I will see you at our already planned reunions. Yep, we've already started working on those. And the love that I felt from the listeners for, that's been the driving force behind wanting to do this for so many years. I'm glad I was able to help you. And as Malibu Sue has been saying, and you and everybody over the last few days, the letters and the outpouring of love is just beyond belief, Ashok. It really, really is. And I just can't say enough, of thanks for all the time that you've given us here at WCBS News Radio 880. 88, the way I remember it.
Oh, yeah. It's been an honor and a privilege sharing these airwaves with you, the best in the biz. WCBS Chief Meteorologist.
WCBS News Time, 8:53 here on Nightside. A tradition, an institution, and a standard bearer for news, specifically radio news, is disappearing. And that is a shame. Now, that was a quote from retired Associated Press reporter Skip Foreman, who's listened to the station over the years, referring to WCBS 880. And we're thankful for all the support over the years and for over the last 2 weeks after finding out our fate. And it has been an absolute honor to serve. And make no mistake, news journalism is a public service. Knowing what is going on around us, that's a key to a functioning democracy, and it's our duty, all of us, to appreciate this public service. The end of 880 as we know it is a reflection on the state of news in this world these days, and losing all these stations and newspapers for understandable reasons on all ends can, however, one day lead to us all realizing that we the people, will be unable to maintain our drive for a more perfect union. Here at 8:54, let's go ahead and dive into Bloomberg Money News here on WCBS.
The theme of a meeting at Microsoft HQ next month is never again. Attendees are to include cybersecurity companies like CrowdStrike, the firm that crashed Windows systems around the world last month. And they will talk about preventing another global tech meltdown. The meeting is to take place on September 10th, the same day Bloomberg News has learned that Apple will unveil the latest iPhones, watches, and AirPods. Investors think the economy's been ready for an interest rate cut, and now the chair of the Federal Reserve thinks so as well. Jay Powell told the Fed's annual gathering in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, that the time has come. Wall Street was so welcoming of the Fed chief's validation, we saw the Dow reach for a new high a couple of times. And these gains looked pretty good, too. The Dow up 462 points, the NASDAQ up 258, the S&P up 64. And the week's gains top 1%. With Money News at 25 and 55 on WCBS, on Bloomberg's Tracy Jonke.
We'll get the traffic and weather together in 2 minutes and then back to the night's top stories, or not, the Mets. But this one here, this is a song request for Operations Manager Ray Bartell, who's filming right now. We're all going to need some dollars here. We're losing these jobs. All right, we have the Mets coming up in 2 minutes, but traffic and weather together first. Here at 8:56.
Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to an extra $750 with the purchase of 2 or more select major appliances, like the new Whirlpool Wipe Clean range. Its coating makes cleanup easier without the use of harsh chemicals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 8/22 through 9/11. Savings vary based on purchase amount. See Lowe's.com for details. Selection varies by location. Promotion on appliances $396 or more.
What does peace of mind look like?
Well, for me, it's knowing the car dealer I trust has been around since 2005. They live, work, and know my community. Now, with their 60-day buyer's assurance guarantee, I get unmatched protection after the sale. Plus, they work with over 20 different financial lenders to get me approved. Now, that's peace of mind.
Auction Direct USA, your used vehicle superstore.
Auction Direct.
In Raleigh at 7601 Glenwood Avenue or auctiondirectusa.com.
Cars you can count on.
Baseball season is heating up. Odyssey has you covered with the most entertaining coverage of your team. Stay locked in and in the know with the local voices you trust. Stream your favorite shows for free on the Odyssey app, Odyssey.com, or on your smart speaker.
I want that. The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on, so make it your best summer ever with Ford. Now's the best time to get our best deals on a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Bronco family, Ford F-Series, and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now at your Ford dealer today.
Here here at 8:58. Must admit, forgot to say the Money News was sponsored by Eisner Amper, and Traffic and Weather Together will be sponsored by Rothenberg Law. Here's Jody Vale.
Levon, going to give you an extra few seconds to do your thing, but just want to tell you, inbound George, about 20 minutes, both levels in. And the crash, Harlem River Drive, not helping. Northbound approaching the GWB. Jams going back to the east 150s. West side looks okay. And the outbound side's about 15. Lincoln and Holland, they're getting better. It's about 20 minutes now. Jody Vale in the WCBS Traffic Center.
Now, as far as the forecast, tonight's a beauty out there for the next few nights, actually bottoming out to about 66 degrees in Midtown Manhattan, and we are looking at 50s in the outlying suburbs. Now, for tomorrow, high around 83 degrees, sunshine much of the time, and then for Saturday night and the Sunday, lows 67 degrees, and then Sunday, well, a bit more humidity in the air with some sunshine, they say, with a high around 85, and then once we get back to the work week, partly sunny skies, still a bit humid out there. They said an afternoon thunderstorm possible with Monday's high around 83. And then into Tuesday we go with the humidity sticking around. Mix of clouds and sun in the sky. Slight chance of a shower on Tuesday with a high of 81. For now, we're looking at 68 degrees in White Plains. Sounds like a nice to be out partying tonight. 68 in Danbury. 79 degrees still at Newark Liberty Airport. White Plains, 68 degrees. And over there in Queens, 12-mile-an-hour winds, 76 degrees at LaGuardia. Right now, just want to thank listeners one more time here for sticking with us all these years. It's going to be a sad one not being around, but at the same time, we're nothing but thankful for having you all for 57 years. Thanks a lot. I'm Levon Putney.
You've been listening to RWJ Barnabas Health Mets Game Night on WCBS 880. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbh.org.